Well, it says we're live. So let me get this up. See, my chat's working. I don't know if it is or not, but okay. Welcome live from the crossroads of America to a talk show. Today's Wednesday, so it's shooting with disabilities. We also talk guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience, either in the chat or by email at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that good stuff. It's all in the info down below. Can one of you guys type in my chat to see if it's working? You know, not the internal chat, the outside chat. You know, I'm just curious because I don't see nobody in here. Oh well.
Well, I haven't found a link to your show yet.
I sent the emails out.
Oh, I mean, not the emails, but the YouTube part, the show part.
It says we're live and everything else. So
notification.
Okay.
That you went live.
All right. We got somebody in the chat here, so we're good. So
it just said you went live. I didn't check to see if anybody was out there talking.
Okay. Well, I just went live. He said I went live ages ago. But welcome, everybody. I'm running behind schedule. My cousin just left 5 minutes ago. And so I'm all behind. So that's where we're at. So let's see. In the chat, we got TJ Play Nice, Travis T, Sabrina's here, and Patriot in the Dark doing double duty. And okay, now where in the hell did I do that? Can you remember your question? Because I'm trying to find it and I can't find it. I know it's here somewhere.
My question?
Yeah.
It was.
We'll get to it in a minute, but you remember what it was?
Oh yeah.
You got a rough idea?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'll get you to do it in a second. All right. Let me introduce my panel. Got a full house today. Up here in the corner, I got Wheelchair Luke. Good to see you. Then we got Patriot in the Dark. Talk to me, Patriot. Hit the mute button because you've or unmute yourself. So he must be off doing something. Oh, there he is.
I just it locks up when I'm trying to do different things.
So. Oh, okay.
Hi.
All right.
I'm here. Hello, Sabrina. Yep. Hello, everybody.
And we got New York Outcast.
Good.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Doing well.
And we got Jason Stewart.
Good evening, old boy. Good to see you.
Okay, then we got the one and only Squiblo.
Uh-huh.
Good. Then we got Guns and Barbecue.
Howdy.
All right. Then, long time no see. We got Blind Shooter. How you doing?
Greetings, Earthlings.
Okay, so that's everybody in the panel so far. And who else joined us in the chat? Gun Hobo 52 or 62, Jacob S. So far, so people starting to crawl in. You know, so all right. Question. Okay, Wheelchair Luke, you had a question. What was it?
It was. I wanted to know if anybody out there, being that we usually talk about shooting in the shooting community, if anybody else, aside from myself, looks at any type of other self-defense practices, disciplines, if anybody else trains in something other than firearms.
Oh, as a self-defense. Okay, I see what you're saying. So like if you do karate or judo or something like that, you're talking about?
Yeah, just anything like that. Because I know that, after I got hurt and in a wheelchair, I had a very hard time continuing my Taekwondo practicing. But, this was 17 years ago, and obviously everything has adapted since then. And I did recently find a place that does allow, I guess not allows the word, but works with people in wheelchairs for Taekwondo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and firearms training, which is really nice. It's a Christian Weber's martial arts academy. It's up towards my area, but he offered that if I wanted to do it, that he'd be willing to train me as a disabled person. So wanted to see if anybody else out there had any type of experiences, training, or anything like that.
Okay. Patriot in the Dark, do you do anything else besides shoot people?
I just sit on the couch, eat Cheetos. No, I've done that stuff prior to going blind, but I was in Golden Glove and I did Tai Chi and all that stuff. But no, nothing since I've, besides, just using your head. That's all I try to do. I mean, I do have a white cane and stuff that I can jab in your throat. But other than that, I mean, I think that would also include just anything that's not a firearm, right? So carrying, your little pink pepper spray and all that stuff. I think it does it. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Kingpin says, tell Luke to get a picture of Midnight Range. I carry one and no one ever comes near me. I haven't seen Midnight Range in here in a while. So he must be, he got promoted, didn't he? That's why we don't see much of him anymore. So New York Outcast, do you do any other stuff besides using firearms?
Not anything currently. Try to shape, exercise. I have done some things in the past prior to service and through service. Obviously, you really don't have a choice. But more, is like the number one tool I would think I use or fallback long before a gun is just honestly situational awareness. Trying to avoid different areas. I know that's probably a little different, but that's where it all starts, in my opinion.
All right.
Obviously, pocket knives I have with work. I'm using, many things that could be used as a weapon. Until I use it, it's not considered an assault weapon, but, framing nailers, hammers, all types of stuff. Obviously, I carry everywhere, even cutting my grass. But, again, I think everything isn't necessarily jump right to a firearm. So situation awareness, I think, and, it's pretty much your best tool in most cases.
All right. Jason Stewart.
No, actually, I really don't do anything. Maybe I consider myself naturally intimidating. I think you can take one look at me and just know I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Mind you, let me, there we go. Yeah. When I was younger and growing up, my size used to help me. People would leave me alone. Even though I'm a big old cuddly teddy bear, because of my size, they would leave me alone. Which was an advantage.
Well, I try to dress like the homeless.
Oh yeah,
that way no one thinks about robbing me. If anything.
Yeah, well, I am I am almost homeless. Almost. So that's the way I always dress. That's the way I always look, like I'm homeless. Okay, where are we at? Who's next? Oh yeah, Squib. You do anything else? Being an ex-Marine, I would imagine you do. You have other talents.
There's no such thing as an ex-Marine.
You're right. My mistake. I do apologize.
Don't apologize. It's a sign of weakness. I've been watching this series. I've been watching this series on self-defense. It's called Cobra Kai, and I found that it's really helpful.
Okay. I remember you mentioned that in something the other day. was it YouTube or something that you mentioned that in? I don't remember, but I remember that show for some reason. I don't know why. So, all right, Guns and Barbecue. How about yourself?
I don't know. I used to just strip down naked. I found that nobody wanted to fight the naked guy. But now it just seems to get me more into trouble than anything. So I've been thinking about like seeing about karate or something like that. But it's one of those things where is it really going to be useful for me? I doubt it. More so just fun exercise. And before I forget, I was talking to Angelina like a month ago. She told me to tell you, hey.
All right, thanks. God, you put that picture in my head of you naked. I can't get it out of my head now. Oh, Jesus. You ruined it for me.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Do what?
I just wanted. I got to jump back to Rob because he said he doesn't mow his lawn without a framing nailer. I mean, you can actually carry one around when you're doing your lawn.
Yeah, a Shield M&P. So.
Oh, I thought you meant. Okay, I thought you meant for.
No, I'm just saying. I've always had something close on hand, yeah, in a sense or whatever. That was just comical or whatever. Explain, tools. Yeah. I'd add though for Guns and Barbecue, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu might be something to look into for you because there's a lot of transfer of weight, things like that. When people get hands-on, you just pretty much using them against their motions against them in a sense. I don't know. That's kind of a layman's way of putting it, but smaller statue people tend to do very well. Not just smaller statue, but as well as I could see it transferring into maybe visually impaired or whatever. So basically, to the point where somebody gets physical, there is advantages in being able to switch things around to your advantage, I guess.
I used to wrestle in high school and whatnot. I'd actually like to get into that again. Again, don't know how well it would go. I can at least see the outlines of everybody, so I'd like to think it'd be all right. I found a tournament that's actually fairly close where a bunch of old bald fat guys get together and wrestle each other. So it's actually called the Bald and Fat Classic. So thought about entering something like that, see how it goes, and it'd be a good test run to really gauge what I could do grappling.
To go back to what Patriot was talking about, I have actually open carried while mowing the lawn. Not because I live somewhere where I've got to carry a weapon in order to stand in my front yard, but just because I could, pound sign freedom.
Absolutely. I mean, I carry everywhere, even though I'm here by myself. I mean, I don't right now. Actually, what did I do with it? I took my gun off. Why did I take my gun off? There was a reason why. But normally I always have one on me, always. But I got a cabinet here full. I mean, I keep all my guns. All my guns are loaded in my gun cabinet here. So if I need to grab one in a hurry, I can do it. They're all loaded. I said all the magazines are in them, but there's not one in the chamber in any of them in there.
Well, it's just like Squib says, there's only two kinds of people in this world. Those with loaded guns and those who dig.
That's right. All right, now let's go on. A blind shooter, do you do anything else besides, hey, you got any into martial arts or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I carry the usual EDC stuff along with the Zippo, so if anyone tries something, I usually just turn them into Richard Pryor. But I've also got like a shit ton of tattoos, so people think I just get out of prison.
All right.
Don't stop there. He actually has to explain his regiment because this guy does like marathon, so it's not like he just walks the refrigerator up a couple steps. He does a lot of stuff. So
yeah, and anybody attacks him, he'll run him down because he does so much running. So all right, Will and Well Armed, how you doing?
I'm good, and you?
All right. The question was, besides firearms, do you do any other sort of like self-defense stuff like, judo, karate, that kind of stuff?
No, not really. I mean, I did take a video, not really a video. It's a training aid where the guy puts you in trains you how to use your gun, how to draw, that, and I do have that little laser device that you put on your gun and practice with. But on my EDC gear, I carry a Microtech stitch. It's like instead of out the front blade, it's an automatic out the side with a big old blade. And so I carry that. I carry a tactical pin with me all the time. So if I'm on an airline, I especially make sure I have the tactical pin with me. And it's kind of like a spike. And then, I always carry a flashlight, that's like 1,600 lumens. So, I think it does have, like you said last week, it does have the shroud on it that's rather sharp.
Yeah.
So
I gotta get me a new flashlight because mine's about wore out. But yeah,
look at the Black Scout Survival has one on Amazon, and it runs between 55 and 65. That shroud is so sharp it might cut your jeans if you're not carrying it in the holster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's something else.
Black Scout what?
He's got a YouTube channel. He's a survival guy. I think it's called Black Scout Survival. Can anybody confirm that?
It sounds familiar.
Oh, and he sells these.
So one of the good flashlight companies that's not Olight, he has them build a special flashlight for him. Oh, okay. I got one in my chair. Hold on. I got this other copper flashlight, and it's got the big 650 flash battery in it, and it feels like brass knuckles without the knuckles. It feels like a roll of nickels in your hand.
All right.
Hold on, still getting that flashlight.
That's all right.
Here it is. It is called. Well, the logo's got a picture of an Indian chief on it. I can't. If there's any writing, it's microscopic.
Oh, that's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now I'm going to answer the question. No, I don't do any other training or besides using a firearm. It's just that I mean, growing up as a kid. Now, hey, I'm well past being a kid, so we're looking at 50 years ago, whatever. I used to do judo, but I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. And I think if anybody, but as Rob said, I try to stay out of trouble. I don't want to get into trouble. I mean, if I see something happening, I'm going to cross the street before I tackle it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I carry all the normal EDC stuff that everybody else does. The flashlight with the bevel thing on the end of it, and a knife, all that kind of good stuff.
But I mean, if you're downtown or somewhere where possible threats are, and you look. You don't look down. You look at them like I know who you are. I can describe you to the police. If you got that kind of look to everybody that's a potential threat. I mean, I'm not talking about cockeyed looking like you're sizing up and you're going to kick their ass. I'm just talking about you're eyeing everybody that's coming up toward you. I think you're a lot less of a threat. They're looking for that guy that is so busy in their iPhone that they don't know who hit them on the head and who just took their iPhone. Because, they're out of it. Those are the potential robbers. I think even a guy in a wheelchair that gets a good look, they don't really want to rob me because they know I'll be able to report him and describe him properly,
Yeah, yeah. Good point.
I would just add with that, instead of just jumping off in any of that training, any physical, I mean, especially if you have a disability or whatever, but for anybody, it's better if you're obviously physical and you can not get winded walking to, the chair or whatever, or you're physical doing something. I mean, that's going to help you out more than, I wouldn't have to jump off and do some, ninja stuff, but just be able to, the stretching itself, that's got to help, immensely. You get in a fight and you can't put your, stretch right or whatever. And if you do have some flexibility issues, you work on that. That's obviously going to help you out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was talking about that. I've started, doing a little walking, just, walking down. Like when I go get my mail, I walk past my mailbox for like to the end of my street, then back again. I mean, it ain't that far. It's maybe 50 yards, from my door to the end of the street, and so 100 yards maybe I'm walking.
Yeah, that's better than nothing though.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting on to get back in shape. Because I mean, now that I got the new hips and things are coming along, I mean, I am out of shape, big time. And I want to get in shape. I got to be in shape by August 15th. That's start squirrel season here in Indiana.
Less grilled cheese, more salad.
What?
Less grilled cheese, more salad, buddy.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Oh, I went to the doctor's on, what's today? Yesterday. I went to the doctor's yesterday. And he kept me I got in there. As soon as I was in the door, they had me in his office. But he made me wait about 10 minutes before he showed up, and I understand why. First thing he said out of his mouth as soon as he walked in the door was, "Got the COVID shot yet?" I said, "No." And I said, "I don't plan to." And he asked me why. So I told him all the stuff. I don't believe that it's been tested long enough and all this good stuff. And I got a 30-minute history lesson on COVID and the COVID shots. Vaccine.
That's when you thunder punch him in the throat.
That's funny.
And I said, I still ain't doing it. I'm sorry. He said, well, you're diabetic and all this stuff. Well, he calls me up. His office calls me today and says, "Oh, the doctor's very pleased with you because your A1C is only 6.1, which is phenomenal." Right? It's only, I don't know why in the hell I'm on medication because it's so good, So I don't know. It's just, I'm just strange, but he did I talked to him about, how my bad shoulder here. Now, I know you're going to give me all the negative stuff, New York Outcast, but I am going down next Thursday, and he is giving me a cortisone shot in it. That's what I'm going for. I ain't going to. I don't need to go see a surgeon to have it operated on, because I've been researching it, and it's not the surgery that's so bad; it's the recovery of a shoulder operations that's tough. So I said, "Hell, just shoot me some cortisone." Said at my age, that'll work. So that's what I'm doing. Then on Friday, I got to go down to the hospital because he set me up for a CT lung scan. Why he did that for, I don't know. But he's been trying to get me to do one since I've been here. So I don't know why. There ain't nothing wrong with my lungs. But
you need to say no thank you, comrade.
But what I'm worried about is I don't like tight places. Right? Am I claustrophobic? Not really. I just don't like being pinned in. You know what I'm saying? I can go underground and stuff like that, no problem. But I don't like stuff being so tight that it's touching me. You know what I'm saying? And those CT machines, They ain't that big, and I'm a big boy. That's what bothers me. You know, who be getting feedback from here?
All the people who don't know what a mute button is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what's happening on my health issues. So nothing out of you, New York Outcast, on my cortisone shot. I'm waiting for all the negative stuff.
I got nothing on that.
Oh man.
I don't have any info, so I'm just keeping quiet.
Okay.
I just wish you luck, buddy.
It sure hurts.
I'm glad he passed on the COVID.
What was that, Jason?
I say that cortisone shot's pretty good, except it sure hurts if they shoot you one in your butt cheek.
I used to get cortisone shots in my back. You know, and normally the day they do it, it hurts like my back would hurt like a son of a bitch. But then the next morning, it would start feeling better. Then after a couple of days, I was walking around dancing. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, they won't give me a cortisone shot in my back here in Indiana for some reason. I don't know why. But he doesn't mind giving me one in my shoulder, though. So, I don't know. Maybe he feels spinal stenosis. It's going too deep into the spine or something to give me one. I don't know. But when I used to get them in Rhode Island, I went to I was seeing a pain management doctor. So I guess he knew where to stick the needle. So, all right, that's all I had on that. So basically, back to your question there, Luke. It sounds like no, most of us in this room do not do anything else but rely on our firearm. It sounds like.
All right, yeah, it was just a question I had. Wanted to see what everybody else thought.
Good question. Good question. I would like to know too.
The reality is you don't have to have martial arts training or have been an amateur boxer or something like that to know how to fight with your hands. Who here hasn't been in fist fights in school?
True.
That adrenaline gets pumping and your instincts kicked in. I'm not saying that you're going to defeat somebody who is in better physical shape or who is in more control or who has more hand-to-hand experience or hand-to-hand training, whatever you want to call it. But if you don't have your weapon or you can't get to your weapon or something, don't be all like, oh, I can't use my fists or anything else I can get my hands on to use as a weapon. I'd be more likely in a close combat situation to beat the shit out of them with my gun. I think I would feel a lot better pistol whipping them than wasting ammo on them, especially at today's prices. So hopefully they got good dental insurance because they're going to be spitting out a bunch of teeth. I don't use those silly plastic guns for that sort of thing. So, if it comes down to it, you've got to have that survival instinct, or you've got to, you can't just rely on getting to your pepper spray or your stun gun or your knife or your baton or your gun or whatever nail gun.
Yeah. Oh, I got a couple of questions in the chat here, but back to Jason S. I've never been in a fist fight in my life. Man, Jason, you.
I'll say it, Rick. You pussy.
And Defense Dad asked me a question. How in shape do you really need to be for squirrels? I'm honestly asking it, not being a smart ass. I would think you'd be able to pick them off in the woods. Well, you're right. I understand what you're saying, but you gotta. Where my cousin goes squirrel hunting, you got a hell of a hike back into the woods.
You got to carry all of them back too, right? How many do you carrying back? Like 50 of them?
Yeah. So
if you hear banjos, you got to get moving quick.
Yes, that's right.
I was about to ask what your guys' limit in Indiana is, because here in PA we have a limit of 6 per day.
I think our limit here is 10 actually per day.
You don't just go down to
this year.
You don't just go to the city park? You just pull up right in that parking lot.
Yeah, and I have a permit to shoot from the vehicle too. You know, so
they might frown upon that.
Mind you, I'm going to ask my cousin if he's got a side by side. Then we can wheel way up there in the woods, get out, then do the squirrel hunting, and I can sit in the damn thing and shoot. You know, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
It'd probably be good if you could huff it a few miles easily, just in case. So,
oh yeah, yeah. I want to be able to walk.
If you get out there and a vehicle breaks down, you get stuck, something happens, unexpected storm, you slip, hit your head, wake up, not sure which direction you came from. Lots of things can happen. So, cardio, I think, is the best. You don't have to be an all-star or nothing, but just being able to keep up a good pace. Elevating your heart for more than 10 minutes at a time is a good start with that. And just walking will do it.
Yeah. Defense Dad said it's a good thing Squib doesn't like polymer guns and carry a P320 if he rather pistol whip the guy. I'm not sure what that.
I tell you what, anybody out there wants to volunteer to get smacked in the face with a full-size 1911, we'll just see how many teeth it'll break on the first hit.
Go see Squib.
Yeah, that's right. Because when you go out walking the dog and you're open carry, it's a 1911 you're carrying.
Yeah, I mean the thing's already got deer blood on it, so people blood will just blend right in.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
just make sure you do it. You put it on YouTube.
Wasn't that SIG the one that if you bump it, it goes off? So if you're beating somebody, it would still go off. I think that's what he was referring to.
Oh, okay.
The one that you drop. Yeah, I think that maybe. I could be wrong. It's happened a couple times.
But didn't they fix that?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you just put a rubber band in the back and.
Yeah.
I suggest using Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, but
now it's closed, so nobody lives to tell about it.
Yeah. But, I mean, actually, we're going back to walking in the woods with the squirrel hunting. I mean, you got to remember here in this part of Indiana I'm in, believe it or not, we have hills here. They're not mountains, they're hills. And there's some big ones, So, I mean, walking up and down those, that's why I need to get a bit fit to be able to do that, basically, is where I was heading with that. So
now, do you use I know you use a rifle when you go out, but do you use like a walking stick or a cane to assist you walking in the
I didn't go this past year. I went the year before and I used my cane. I carried I borrowed one of his rifles because I didn't have one. And luckily, it had a sling. So I slung it on my shoulder and walked with my cane. But I'm hoping that I won't need my cane at all. He's got me a walking stick per se. He got an old he made me one out of a hardwood. Tree he found that has the V in it, so I can use it for like a rest for my rifle.
Yeah, you're gonna want to bring something anyways. This is a good idea, even for anybody that's out walking in the. Yeah, you never know. You come across one of those squirrels with the rabies coming after you. You might want to beat them off.
Yeah,
maybe not.
You saw Defense Dad said we used to go out into the field and pick off prairie dogs and badgers on my uncle's farm. So I was picturing something like that for squirrels. I remember years ago when I spent my summers here on the farm, we used to pick off the prairie dogs. And thinking about it, we used to set ourselves up, and it's an old country road that ran past the farm. It wasn't a private road, it was a public road. And we used to shoot across it. not even thinking about anybody else coming along in a car or anything. They were the good old days, you know. But shooting badgers. Badgers are nice animals, you know. Or the badgers over here different to what they are in England. I know they can be vicious, but they're kind of cute in a way. They're protected in England. Badgers are.
Badgers?
Yeah.
Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers.
You know. So.
Classic.
Man.
All right. All right. What else were we going to talk about? You guys got anything you want to talk about? Any other questions? So I'm feeling pretty good. I said, once my shoulder gets done, you know, he did say, now I must admit, he did say, without going and getting a scan done on it and all this kind of stuff, he said, because what now, especially in the morning when I do it, I didn't do it yesterday morning. I waited till I got to his doctor's. It's not happening now, but first thing in the morning, when I'm moving it back and forth like this, up and down, trying to get it working, it's my whole shoulder inside. You know, like when you crack your knuckles, it's making that kind of popping sound for ages until it sort of like gets worked in. So he feels he feels that the shot should work. But he said if you actually damaged your rotor cup, is that what he said? He said this shot ain't going to help any. So we'll find out, won't we?
Maybe you're just a little low on oil.
You know, so.
Yeah, so you can just drill a hole in the shoulder there, spray a little WD-40 in there, and you'll be all set.
Yeah. Basically, that's what he's going to do with the cortisone, you know.
Hey, I don't know if they have them where you live, but they do have open MRIs, and you don't have to. You're not all claustrophobic in those.
Yeah. I've heard of those, but I'm not sure.
Might have to go to a big city to find one.
If you're claustrophobic and the regular one bothers you, I believe if you let them know that, they'll give you some kind of pill to settle you down a little bit.
I don't need no stinking pill. If I don't like it, I'm going to say.
Doesn't matter.
If I don't like it, I'm going to say, adios. I'm out of here. You know.
It's not that long. What are you in there? Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah, they go really quickly these days.
Yeah, when you
It's not that bad, right?
When you started this out, Rick, you said you didn't like tight places. First thing coming to my mind is, boy, do I got the woman for you.
Honestly, they may. I'm not sure what machine they're using or whatever, but in some cases they do try to do the outside one with people that are a little heavier, just due to the size of it. So you might have that option available, like.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine. They said the one they use is like a big donut. You know what I'm saying? It only covers for like.
Yeah, most are. It's just depending on the hole or the size of the donut or whatever. It's the table, because the tables wear out or not wear out. They have limitations on the table.
Yeah, I know. I know they were saying it was a donut, but what I'm thinking, I'm 6 foot tall. If that donut is 4 foot thick, I ain't gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? If it's only a couple of feet thick, then maybe I
think of your first girlfriend.
You know, two live move. Open MRI is different than a CT. So what's the difference?
The price.
You know, isn't it the same machine? They look alike. You know. Did I tell you that my insurance, that the hospital billed my insurance $64,000?
Yeah, but the insurance company's only going to pay half of that, so that's why they increased the bill.
They haven't approved it yet. It's pending, but $64,000. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that hip ain't worth that much.
No, you got the premium dressing gown, I'm sure. And you had a TV in there probably too.
See, that's a bargain. If you'd had everything done, it would have been $6 million.
Now, Rick, when you go through like the metal detectors at the airports, will you go off with the new hip?
Yes. They said they'd give me a little card if I want one to go through there. But what I was thinking, right, is let it go off. And I say, oh, that's my hips. And they scan my hips, and I walk through with my shoulder holster, no problem. What do you think?
It's a good idea. Just when you go through security, make sure that you tell them you're identifying as a female. Otherwise, you're going to get one hell of a pat down.
Okay, yeah.
I'll come
should
visit
start
you now and
flying
then for the next
private.
20 years.
Mind you, when
I
I got through security last time I went to Florida on the airplane because my hip, that was before I had my other hip done. So it was about 3-4 years ago. I got to the airport and I'm hurting. And I said, any chance to get a wheelchair? And they said, oh yeah, no problem. So they got me one of those guys with a wheelchair, and I got wheeled right up there. I got the big line laying there to get the waiting to go through the machine to get
X-ray.
Yeah. I got to the front of the line. I stood up, emptied my pockets out and stuff like I wanted to. Then I sat back in the chair and they rode me through. Then when I went on the other side, they just sort of stamped and said, "Okay, good to go." And I was wearing this knife around my neck. I forgot I had it on. I wear this knife around my neck here, and I got through security with that on. Surprised the hell out of me. So that's what made me think that if I set it off, I can say it's just my hips and I can carry a bunch of stuff through.
Yeah, a couple times I got there and I realized I had my big folding knife hanging down between my legs on my pad, on my cushion strap that's between my knees.
Yeah.
And so all I do is I just fold it up and stick it between my cushion and the sling, and I could put a pistol in there and they'd never find it. But I put it in there many times. As soon as I get to the bathroom, I take it out and put it to my bag, and so I can carry it on any plane.
John Brown Production said it's a huge donut. What is so scary? I do it every few years. Nothing to be afraid of. Well, as I said, if I go in it, and even though, say, I go through it and they're doing my shoulders, my head's sticking out and the rest of my body's sticking out, but if it's got me pinned in there, like it's touching my sides because I'm so wide, that annoys. I don't like being in tight places like that. I don't like being pinned down. I guess, even here's a good example. Even like when I was like the last month when I spent that night in the hotel before I had the surgery the next morning, the way they have all the beds tucked in tight, I ripped the sheet and covers off. I can't stand being even in a tight bed, with the covers and sheets all tucked in around you. Oh God.
So you don't have the mental stability to overcome that for 10, 15 minutes?
As I get older,
or the willpower?
As I get older, no. I used to as a younger man. But as the older I get, I'm thinking, fuck you, I don't have to anymore. So I don't know why he wants x-rays of my lungs for anyway. There ain't nothing wrong with them.
2 Live Mook returned your answer. He said a MRI gives a better image detail than a CT scan.
Oh, okay. All right. But I said he's doing a CT lung scan. I think that's what it said. He's been trying to get me to do one since I been in here.
He's trying to find something so he can sucker you in and take another shot.
I know why he wants me to do it is because, up to I think it's been 11, 12 years. I used to be a heavy smoker up to I quit 11 years ago. And maybe that's what he's thinking of. See what damage has been done to my lungs for all those years of smoking. I don't know. But when they do the thing on my oxygen and stuff, it's really high. They said for such a fat guy, my oxygen levels and all that are pretty good. So
you got room to store some extra.
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so that's
Quit hogging up the air, Rick.
What?
Quit hogging up all the air. Save it for the rest of us.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But that's my health issues lately. So things are improving. I can't wait to get out there. So I'm going to do some more. Oh, Two Live Moose said if it's low dose lung CT, they are screening for lung cancer. That's what I'm thinking, because maybe all the years I was smoking. Because I have heard people get lung cancer, even though they haven't been, they stopped smoking for years and years, but they get it anyway. So maybe that's what he wants to check. I don't know. But, I mean, I'll see the machine. If it looks good, I'll do it. If it bothers me, I ain't going to do it. And that is the bottom line. Call me a pussy if you want. That's just the way it is.
Now, everybody, you're saying it's a donut. It's just a big circle.
Yeah.
I don't. I've probably done them, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it is.
Why don't they paint them? They could paint them with sprinkles on them or something. Wouldn't that just kind of ease people's?
I think it would too. Yeah. Oh, Two Live Moose says, by the way, I've been in medical imaging for 30 years. Yeah. So I need a real big machine that doesn't touch my body when I go in it. Yeah. Yes.
Pussy.
I am. See, what bothers me is you measure me around my big old fat stomach, right? My stomach is bigger than my chest, right? So, but around my stomach, we're talking. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but I would imagine it's a good 60 inches if I measured around my stomach, my fattest part of my body. And if that hole ain't big enough, and I said it bothers me. So it might be less than that now since I've been losing weight. But I remember years ago when they measured me, that's what it was. They did tell me that the machine there at the hospital, they said they can do people up to 450 pounds. So I said, weight's not my problem. I said, it's the size of the damn thing, But I don't weigh that much, by the way, guys. So it just, I don't know. It's just the way I am. I'm getting cantankerous in my old age, I guess. Okay, what else is new? I'm trying to think. Not much. I plan on going shooting, hopefully tomorrow or Friday, even if it's only one box. That's what I'm going to do.
That sounds fantastic.
Are you going to do the 45 long Colt?
Do what?
Are you going to bring your revolver?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm going to take the 45 Colt. I'm going to take my 1911, and of course my 380. And as I said, I'm going to collect all my brass that I use, because I said I got over 1,000 large primers. So reloading the 45 Colt and the 45 ACP is not a problem. I got the powder and the bullets and all that. And the 380, that's the only problem. I've only got 300 primers left, the small primers. So that's.
I went shooting today.
What?
I went shooting today.
Oh, you did?
Yep. Took 2 boxes. I got this reload. I was just seeing how it would shoot. I had a bunch of misfires last week with the Glock 26 and something else, and then so I shot 100 rounds and had 0 misfires. So glad. So I shot 40 rounds with the Wilson Combat EDC, and then I shot 30 rounds with the CZ transitional pre-B, and then I've got a nickel CZ 75 semi-compact. It's got the short barrel and a long grip. And so I shot 30 rounds of each of those. I had no misfires. Shot all of them shot well. So it was fun.
Oh, Defense Dad, you are right. That would work. Defense says they said they need to get that nurse who hit on me in the hospital to calm me down before I have my test. Yeah, that would definitely would work. But unfortunately, different hospital. So.
Just make sure that nurse has like a young sister or daughter.
Yeah.
Well, I'm no CT machine, but I'll go up to 450 pounds too, if need be.
Yeah.
Just make sure she's not a Democrat.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to mention. I think even though my doctor signed my paperwork to get my disabled permit to shoot from my vehicle, and he signed everything I needed doing, he signs it. But I think he's a Democrat. I think he's a secret Democrat. Because when we were talking about the COVID and the vaccine and stuff, I said, well, I'm sort of slightly protected anyway, because I take hydrochloroquine. He goes, well, I said, I don't think that actually works. And I thought to myself, goddamn Democrat. Because it does work. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I was. That's what made me say that to myself. I thought, damn, can't go in. But then again, you think about it, he's got to be really. When you think about it, they go to college, get indoctrinated on the left's bullshit. Then they go to medical school and they're being indoctrinated again. So they got to come out a Democrat. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, what else we want to talk about?
Mr. Potato Head.
There's no such thing anymore. Well, he sits in the White House. His name is Biden. But hey, blind shooter and New York outcast. What a beautiful governor you have.
Outcast, you want to take point on this one? Because I'm biting my tongue.
I haven't followed too much. I've heard he's having a hell of a time and one affair after another, or this or that. I don't know.
He didn't resign.
I know. From the time I've spent near him, not that I know him or anything, but I've seen him in person several times. He's always come off as an arrogant prick, and I don't have anything good to say about him. Hopefully he does go out, but I'm concerned who they're going to put in because, in my opinion, New York's just like a movie. It's just a dirty game here.
Is that that Como guy?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, his brother's got a show on CNN.
Maybe you guys will get AOC next.
Yeah. That wouldn't be too bad because she's so freaking dumb they'd believe anything that she is told.
See, the problem with Como is they're going after that sex stuff, which is bad or whatever, but, kind of trying to blow over. So nobody's even talking about, the nursing home thing as much.
Oh, yeah,
everybody in the media is just talking about the sex stuff. Oh, man, it's horrible. Let's get rid of them. But they're not, they're just glossing over it, seems to me. But
yeah, he made some sort of half-ass apology today to one of them. There's three of them that have come forward now, but he sort of like apologized only to the woman, he said, or the person or the lady or something, he said. Yeah,
what a lot of people also aren't realizing is he appointed some special prosecutor to oversee the case. The woman that he appointed is one of his friends, so of course his friend is going to say, "Oh no, you're innocent."
Yeah. Now, he picked somebody who
he's a bum.
Who was defense lawyer for that guy out of Hollywood.
Weinstein?
Yes. And didn't he lose? I thought he lost. So, I mean, to me, that's not a good recommendation for a lawyer. But anyway.
One thing that's coming out of that is there's a group, Mackinac something or other here in Michigan, that's actually looking at Whitmer, because she basically took his idea as far as the nursing home thing and cookie cuttered it. And I guess there's a couple other states, but they're going through and they're putting some things together, and I don't know, eventually do a lawsuit against her or whatever for basically the same thing.
Well, they need to.
That ain't going to go anywhere. That ain't going to go anywhere. Everything they've tried to do, all they've really been doing is going out there spamming your damn inbox asking for money and no results. So,
well, this is not a company, but an organization. That's all they do is do the transparency stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know much about them. I haven't heard much about them. They're not one of the ones that is out there flashy. And the only reason I heard about it was some lady was talking to him this morning.
Yeah, but the only problem is all these high-profile politicians, nothing ever happened. Yeah, they might be forced to resign, but nothing criminal ever happens to them, ever. You know? But anyway, I know what we could talk about. We ain't got much time, but what is racist about Dr. Seuss? What am I missing?
well, Rick,
Nothing.
what would you do if you saw a boogaloo?
Do what?
Wasn't that the book? What was that? Wasn't that the book that people were saying was the whole racist thing? What would you do if you saw a boogaloo?
Yeah, there's 6 of them. Just because some of the words that they used back in the 30s were, instead of saying Chinese, they were saying, just China person, man or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, but
I read that
it was like back then. It's different. It's different now, but back then it was not saying it was right, but that's the way it was. You know what I'm saying?
But they're doing that to all sorts of books. I mean, you go to high school now, they don't read half the books that we're, forced to classics wise.
Oh yeah.
They look at you like, what? No, we read these books now. A totally different list, which is retarded. But
yeah, I think a lot of it I read that it was the way they were representing from that time period Asian Americans and the pictures that were shown of them or whatever. And I will tell you this right now. I read those books. I am an Asian American, and I do not find those one bit offensive. I will let my kids read them who are Asian. I do not. It's a kid's book. It's not some bit, it's a book about things that really aren't real. They're supposed to be entertaining. So the simple fact that I saw some of them were saying, we're stopping them producing because, they don't represent Asians in a positive light. Well, if I had a problem with it, I just wouldn't read it. Don't ban it. Just don't read it if you don't like it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I mean, that's right. I mean, it's, the offensive stuff, and, don't read it. Don't go there. Don't watch it. You shouldn't have to ban stuff, just because somebody has a different opinion than you. But I mean, today's society has gone all the hell.
It's the same thing with this.
What's going to happen though so they're banning kids' books now, right? They're saying we're going to stop producing these 6 Dr. Seuss books. What's going to happen eventually if they say, well, here's only half the Bible you can read. Here's only half, if they're banning kids' books, how long do you think it's going to be before it's, here, you can only read this. You can only read half of this. If they're banning kids' books, that's not too far off in the future.
Well, not even. I mean, we're right there now.
Yeah.
I don't know about where you live, but here in New York, during the height of the pandemic, Catholics and the Jewish people couldn't worship in their own house, but the Muslims, hey, by all means, let them do what they like.
Yes. Yeah, that was a Como thing too, wasn't it? So.
They let a lot of things slide. I mean, they still let people shoot, Smith & Wesson shields and shoot 9mm, and they haven't banned those yet. So it's not as bad as.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. I'm just making sure you're out there still.
Yeah, my biggest thing is if you don't like it, don't read it, don't watch it, don't pay attention to it. And your life's going to be a lot better if you do that, if you have a problem with something.
I agree with you.
Just throw the comment in. I think they already have been, messing with religion in a sense. So, that's a whole nother topic and whatnot. But, interpretation means a lot. And again, like people don't get, words meant different things at different times. So, it's just something I'd bring up. But I think, they're already focusing on that in the schools and whatnot, basically to change the culture or destroy it in a sense. So it's what it seems.
Yeah. I don't know, Gun Snob, you're a moderator in here. Put the link in the chat to your giveaway. He wants to know if we all entered his giveaway yet. So there we go. Anyway, it's gone 8 o'clock. I don't know who's on next. That's one thing I miss about not having gun channels. You used to know what shows were coming up when, because he had a whole list of them.
Roll Call should have his show tonight.
Yeah, he does.
I think
10:30. He has.
Yeah, I usually catch it late.
Yeah,
that's his bedtime. So.
Then that left-leaning libertarian Matt at 9, I believe.
Big Johnson Guns and Gears is at 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay, all right. So there we go. But that's about it for today's show, guys. I only like to keep this one for an hour because it's at 7 to 8, and I don't ask me why. I don't eat before the show. Something I've been doing for how many episodes I've done now, 153 episodes. I just do not eat before the show. Call me crazy. I don't know. It's like anything else. I mean, I equate it to, I used to hate working second shift because I could never get anything done in the morning because I was afraid I would miss getting to work on time. So, and I equivalent that to eating dinner. I don't want to cook dinner and clean up and all that in case I'm late getting started on my show. Because I'm not an early eater. I mean, I don't eat dinner till around 5:30, 6 o'clock anyway.
You're just waiting to see if Rob comes up with something good, a good idea for dinner.
That would be considered an early eater or average, in my opinion, 5, 6 o'clock. So
I eat closer to 6 than I do 5.
In my opinion, that's probably average or normal. Definitely not a late eater.
But see, as I said, cooking dinner, sitting down eating at 6 o'clock, time I finish and wash up and everything else, my show starts at 7. So it bothers me that I won't get it done on time. And that's why I always eat after. See, that's my thinking. And like I told you guys, like I got the email out late for the show and everything else because my cousin was here. And at 5 to 7, I had to tell him to leave or take a seat. And I got to do my show because he spent an hour and a half BSing with me. So it totally threw me out. So I don't lie. I thought I was going to be late. And I actually was. I think it was 7:01 when I actually finally got sorted out. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. So I want to say thank you for being here. I want to say thank you for the people in the chat for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. And I know we went all over the place again. If you guys got any topics related to children with disabilities or any questions, send them to us. Anything that that you might think is, I don't know, what's the word? Some people don't like asking questions to somebody who's disabled because I don't know, in case they feel, I don't know what. I'm trying to think of the word, but send them to me and I'll bring them up. I don't have a problem. So if you got any, just email me at my normal addresses. Rick's Life as I See It at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Then if you got any general questions you want to talk about, email me at those same addresses for the Saturday show. Before I go. Now, don't forget, you still got 2 weeks to get this answered because I don't do the drawing until the 13th. So I'm doing it every 2 weeks now. My quiz. What I want to know is who was the inventor of the first modern fragmentation grenade? That's the question. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And I've already got 3 or 4 emails already with the correct answer. So they took the time and looked it up. So there you go. So back again. So anyway, so that's it. I will see you all on Saturday at 3 p.m., God willing, and the creek don't rise. And I will see you all then. So good night, everybody.
See you, Rick.
See you, Sabrina.
Pay it forward.
Night, Sabrina.